All right, headed to the mailbox. Special package coming today. And I'll show you guys what it is. We've had a lot of rain, but not a lot of logs popping off. So I'm hoping everything's okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Trees falling. Look, there's a mushroom back there. I don't even know what that is. I don't know if they put it in here. They did. All right, so I just went to the mailbox and I got our eggs. These are Silkies, Frizzles, and maybe Polish Frizzle hens. I don't remember, but definitely Silkies and Frizzles. And so I'm going back to the cutesy, more pet-like chickens. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm all about the farm, just egg chickens. Sometimes I'm about the cute pets. And I wanted to go back to the cute pets. I'm going to show you guys my new coop. The other one just wouldn't hold up and my birds got killed again. And so this one is secure. They will have a safe run. I am going to do some incubation and maybe even hatch out chicks for other people because there is a shortage for Silkies and Frizzles in the area. So let me show you the incubator. So I'll link this below. So far, I love it. It turned to 100 in under 5 minutes. And so it heated up perfectly. I have got it set to 100. You can adjust the temperature here. It's important if you're incubating that you have one that self-regulates, because what happens is as your eggs incubate, they actually change in composition and they will hold heat differently. And so you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And then all of a sudden your heat will spike up to like 110 because their body composition's changed, or it'll drop. And I've lost a lot of eggs to that. So I got one that self-regulates. It self-humidifies. It has got these humidifiers in here, so it does that on its own. It turns on its own, although I saw it turn once and I haven't seen it turn since. So I don't really know what kind of timer that's on. You don't turn them very often, so I'm guessing it's just a couple of times a day, and it just kind of rotated them around so the eggs spin. It came with a quail incubation insert. Those are for quail eggs, which I've done before, and those are super fun and adorable. And then this right here is to candle your egg, and so you can turn that on and it candles. You put the egg right here and you can see what's going on inside of it. It's important because as the days go on, you want to pull out any that have died or didn't take in the first place, because they'll start to rot in there. And I have had one explode on me. Not fun. So we lost a big tree out in the woods there. I hear the neighbors are taking down some trees. We've just the trees aren't holding up all over town. There's so many trees down. I think they just died in the hurricane. And then with the rain and the last windstorm, it has shown all the vulnerabilities. So yeah, trees are an issue right now. We're pretty blessed. We only had one go, but I've seen piles and piles of trees. So this is my new chicken coop, and it's adorable. I wanted like the red barn. Reminds me of our time doing tiny homes. So it's just a great memory, and it's adorable. And what I'm going to do, this cherry tree didn't make it. I'm going to garden in here. I'm going to till this up and just do row gardening. But this is sitting on the hill at the bottom of our backyard. And I'm going to put a little fence around the back for them. So kind of down in that area. And then I'll leave this front part. I will screen the bottom of this. You want them to have a bottom covered part like this in case there's hawks or something that come into the area. They need to be able to hide quickly. So I'll screen that so they can't get out. And I'm going to garden around here. I'm not going to make the fence anywhere near this door or where we get the eggs. So the fence will start at this corner and go kind of through this area. So they'll have a nice space to forage and be free. And we will have a nice way to get eggs without having to go into their mess. So this is the coop. I just decided to get something fully finished. My failed attempts at making one has cost me too many birds. And this one's adorable. It is a 6x6. So it's perfect size for about 15 silkies. Maybe even a couple of more because they'll have a run. So it's plenty of space for them to sleep, do their business. There's a door out the back and a little like walkway for them here that can go in there. And there's the chicken boxes. And it's great. There's a roost here. I'm going to add one up here as well. Sometimes probably across the corner here. Some of the birds, depending on their variety, like to perch a little bit higher than that is. And so that'll just give us more space as well for them to perch. But it's adorable. I'm going to change the paint color of this to a creamy beige to match our raised beds. And that's actually the color that all the trim work on the house is going to be one day when we have time. All right, we're at 100 in stable. So let's open our eggs. Okay, we're walking back to the mailbox because only one of those boxes was chick eggs. And I just checked. I got 18 eggs total. 12 came in one package, 6 in another, and the 12 were not in that gray box. So I'm hoping they're in the mailbox. Let's take a walk again. Okay. Well, now we wait and see if they show up at some point today. Probably won't show up until tomorrow now. So I can't put the eggs in until they're all here. They have to incubate at the same time. So we'll just wait and see what happens. All right, everything's on. I just went and got some trays out of the yard, the garden stuff, and put some chips in here. I think these are pine or something, just to catch moisture, because I'm going to take my spawn out of the plastic bag. This is a subscription from North Spore, and I'll link all of this. Everything's from North Spore. I do their subscription box because I go through so many mushrooms. And again, I'll show you guys, once they come out of here, then I grow them in the yard different ways too. So we're not just getting 1 or 2 blooms out of them. We're able to get so much more. So let's see what they sent me. Shiitake, which actually I don't need. I got a bunch of that right now growing in the ground, but that's all right. More shiitake is never a bad thing. King trumpet. These are oyster, right? I believe they're king trumpet mushrooms. Black king mushrooms, and these are 55 to 70% humidity. I need to look at the temperature of these because I'm growing outside, but I think they'll be fine. I'm not really worried about this. Most of them are pretty spring, warm weather, not hot weather, but like cooler and warm weather. Ooh, the golden oyster. And I'll show you how to set these up in a minute. blue oyster, and Italian oyster. Let me do my oysters down here. So we're gonna do 2 per tray. Oops. I'm gonna do the shiitake up here. All right, let me grab some scissors. Okay, I just went and looked at my mushroom guide. They actually send you a mushroom guide with your stuff if you request it. Most of this stuff is like 55 to 70. Oyster mushrooms like it a little bit warmer. We're kind of teetering between cool at night, and then today was in the 80s, but it's not gonna get 80 on this porch. So I think we're gonna be fine with every one of these varieties. Again, I'm not growing in my house. Our house just isn't big enough, and our garage is under construction. So I have to go with the elements. So porch is a great option. I like to take mine completely out of the bag. I have found doing that and putting them on a little bed of greens, you get more food out of them because they'll spawn from everywhere. You can run the risk of losing humidity. So if you're in a super dry climate, it might not be the best option. We have our humidity controller here though, so I don't have to worry about the humidity as much. I just gotta make sure I don't run out of water, because then they can dry out. And these are ready, guys. These are so beautiful. All that white mycelium, these are ready to pop. I find the king trumpet, and I'm not sure, there's a black trumpet and a king trumpet. I think they're in the oyster family, or if not, they're very close to oyster. The only one that's really different in here is the shiitake. All right, we got our mushrooms going. I was hoping to get my eggs incubated. I'm gonna check the mailbox again on the way to the gym. Thanks for hanging out with me on just getting things done on the homestead day. And that's it, we just chip away at the projects a little bit every day to keep that food growing. I will see you guys on the next video.